The reigning champions Chelsea were languishing in 13th. 5 teams were yet to win, most notably perhaps Tottenham. Sunderland propped up the table.
September 2015. There's nothing wrong with dreams. Slaven Bilic.
Injury to Mohamed Besic meant the introduction of Steven Naismith, who came off the bench to score a memorable hat-trick as Everton ran out 3-1 winners, so piling even more misery onto the ailing champions.
Naismith slots his third low under the keeper from a tight angle.
Watford earned their first victory back in the Premier League thanks to Odi Nigalo's strike against Swansea. Manchester United and Liverpool reignited their very special rivalry at Old Trafford. United had spent heavily on 19-year-old Anthony Martial from Monaco, who started on the bench.
United draw first blood. A wide free kick sent across the edge of the box and slotted into the top right-hand corner.
They went ahead through goals from Daley Blind and Ander Herrera before 2 stunning strikes set Old Trafford alight.
An overhead volley.
Benteke, wow! Has he hit that or what? Old Trafford stunned into silence. They could do with another of their own now. Martial worrying Skirtle, getting away from Klein. Anthony Martial! Oh, wow, that's special! That is special!
Aston Villa hadn't won since the opening day of the season. They took a 2-0 lead at unbeaten Leicester, thanks to goals from Jack Grealish and Carlos Hill. But under Claudio Ranieri, the Foxes were beginning to develop a remarkable resilience.
She's the last by millimetres. Mahrez, box of tricks. Aimed back in towards Mahrez. Mahrez. Dusan Kane. Dyer went in. The ball is in. Leicester just won't be beaten.
Matt Ritchie scored one of the goals of the season as Bournemouth beat winless Sunderland 2-0 at the Vitality Stadium. And Chelsea beat 9-man Arsenal 2-0 at the Bridge. Jose Mourinho extending his record of having never lost to Arsene Wenger in the Premier League. 5 games, 5 wins, no goals conceded. Manchester City were looking unstoppable. They hosted West Ham, who had already won at both Arsenal and Liverpool.
What a start for West Ham United! Payet's ball in. Oh, on the line, it could be problems. Tapped in for 2. Jafra Sakho. It is a simply stunning victory for West Ham United.
Leicester's unbeaten start to the season came to an end in a 5-2 defeat to Arsenal at the King Power Stadium. Alexis Sanchez stealing the show.
Alexis, hat-trick in his sights. Spectacular!
A sign reads, "Welcome to White Hart Lane."
After their shock defeat to West Ham, Manchester City ended September with a trip to Tottenham. Kevin De Bruyne, a £55 million club record signing from Wolfsburg in late August, put the visitors ahead. But Mauricio Pochettino's young Spurs came roaring back.
Kane, now Walker, who's onside, 2 in the middle. Caballero denies Son. The closest the Spurs have come to an equalising goal. And then it's put in by Eric Dyer. Now flicked on by Alvarez. And Tottenham have turned it around against the league leaders. It's Christian Eriksen. He has tested Caballero. And the follow-up is put in by Harry Kane.
A fan films the goal celebrations on their phone.
Lamella in the middle. It's Eric Lamella.
Going around the City keeper.
And it's 4-1. What a chastening afternoon for Manchester City.
Manchester United now led the way at the top after back-to-back defeats for City. West Ham up to 3rd. Leicester slipped to 8th. The 2 North East clubs propped up the rest and were still without a win. Champions Chelsea found themselves 14th, 8 points off the league leaders.
October 2015. I am the normal one. Jurgen Klopp.
Any momentum Chelsea had hoped to build after beating Arsenal was lost in October when they went down 3-1 at home to Southampton. Their 4th defeat in 8 games. Sergio Aguero struck an incredible 5 goals as Man City came from behind to beat Newcastle 6-1. Just the 5th player to achieve that feat in Premier League history. 10-man Sunderland blew a 2-goal lead against West Ham at the Stadium of Light. Dick Advocaat parted company with the Black Cats soon after, with the club in the relegation zone, having failed to win any of their first 8 games. Following Man City's demolition of Newcastle, Manchester United had the chance to regain top spot. But to do that, they'd have to beat Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium.
Ozil, Ramsey, Ozil's onside. Sanchez scores! United are still on the bus. Theo Walcott. Ozil, 2! Flying away! Walcott, look at his face here for Sanchez. Darmian's got a snag. Sanchez! 3-0 Arsenal! A Gunners' glory day. Arsene Wenger can feel the love again.
Meanwhile, on Merseyside, a 1-1 draw at Goodison Park cost Liverpool boss Brendan Rodgers his job, with the club sitting in 10th position. The charismatic former Borussia Dortmund manager Jurgen Klopp was the man appointed as Rodgers' successor. On Wearside, Sam Allardyce was chosen to take over the reins at Sunderland. And he inspired a 3-0 victory over rivals Newcastle United in just his 2nd match as manager. Jose Mourinho was sent to the stand as 10-man Chelsea lost at West Ham. Substitute Andy Carroll scored the winner in the second half. Still no joy for Aston Villa, who hadn't won since the opening day. And after a 2-1 defeat at home to Swansea, Tim Sherwood paid with his job. As October drew to a close, Mourinho went up against Klopp, who was still waiting for his first win in the league. The Germans' team fell behind, but Liverpool's new boss had all the answers.
Firmino. Coutinho! That is a gem!
With his left foot.
Coutinho scores for Liverpool! Relegation, blue crisis!
This time with his right.
Hyde, Lallana step over. Benteke, 3-1 Liverpool! Klopp's Liverpool Zenith, Mourinho's Chelsea Nadir.
So Chelsea nowhere to be seen at the top of the table. Arsenal sat just behind Manchester City on goal difference. Leicester were up to 3rd. Manchester United beginning to fall off the pace. The Blues sat 15th, some 14 points behind the leaders. Aston Villa, despite their wretched form, were still just 4 points adrift of 17th placed Bournemouth.
November 2015. Victory and defeat has the same face. Claudio Ranieri.
Arsenal and Tottenham entered November's North London derby in fine form. The Gunners had won 5 in a row, while Spurs were unbeaten in 10 since the opening day.
Rose. That's a gorgeous ball for Kane, who's onside. Harry Kane has scored for Tottenham. Ozil. Gibbs! It's in! The most improbable super sub! And Arsenal have grabbed an equaliser inside the last quarter of an hour of derby day.
The spoils shared in North London, and Tottenham now considered by many to be credible contenders for the top 4. A new month, but the same story for Chelsea. Marko Arnautovic gave Stoke a 1-0 win as the champions lost a 3rd straight game in the Premier League, their 7th in total. Frenchman Remy Gard was named as Tim Sherwood's successor at Villa. His first match in the dugout was a 0-0 draw against Manchester City, the Villains' first point after 7 successive defeats. Despite those drop points, Manchester City began match week 13 at the top of the table on goal difference. Next for them, a revitalised Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp at the Etihad Stadium. The visitors shot the league leaders with an astonishing first-half blitz, going 3-0 ahead after an Eliakim Mangala own goal, and further strikes from Philippe Coutinho and Roberto Firmino. City pulled one back, but there was to be no way back.
Lana, then Teke came down for Skrtel. Wow! He has lashed it home! That's how good Liverpool can now be.
Arsenal missed the chance to go top, losing at West Brom. A Mikel Arteta own goal put the Baggies 2-1 ahead. And Santi Cazorla fluffed a late penalty as the Gunners lost for the first time in 7 matches. Jamie Vardy equalled the Premier League scoring record, netting for the 10th game running in a 3-0 stroll against a woeful Newcastle side. One more and he would break Ruud van Nistelrooy's 12-year-old record. As November drew to a close, Leicester faced Manchester United at the King Power Stadium. The winner would go top of the table, but that wasn't the main narrative. All eyes were on Jamie Vardy and his attempt to make Premier League history.
Leicester playing left to right.
Fuchs. Rolling for Vardy. Onside. Jamie Vardy! History! It's what the world tuned in to see. The man has become a phenomenon. Jamie Vardy, take a bow. Take 11 bows.
1-1 the final score, but the headlines belong to the hottest of hotshots who was spearheading Leicester's impressive campaign. They were second, Manchester City top following a win against Southampton, just 2 points separating them, and Arsenal in fourth. Chelsea continued to struggle in 14th. Big Sam's Sunderland were out of the relegation zone. Villa, though, were already 7 points from safety.
December 2015. I feel like my work was betrayed. Jose Mourinho.
So December is upon us. The whistling wind tells us so.
The league leaders Manchester City began their month with an awkward trip to the Britannia Stadium.
Shaqiri. Got around Fernando. It's showdown Shaqiri. Oh, Nelsovic! Stoke lead the leaders! Shaqiri, delightful. Made a mug of Fernando, rolled it through for Bojan. Oh, Nelsovic too! Yet another twist at the top.
Riyad Mahrez scored a hat-trick as Leicester eased to victory at Swansea, a result that spelt the end for Swans manager Gary Monk after a run of just 1 win in 11. The crisis deepened for Chelsea. They lost 1-0 at home to Bournemouth after a late Glenn Murray goal. And the Cherries' momentum continued the following week. After that famous win at Stamford Bridge, there was a 2-1 victory over Manchester United at the Vitality Stadium.
Rain falling in front of the Leicester emblem.
So much can change in a year. Just 12 months earlier, Chelsea had led the Premier League while Leicester were bottom. Now at the King Power, Claudio Ranieri's Foxes knew a win would take them 2 points clear at the summit and leave the champions a point above the relegation zone.
Ulloa. Mahrez Vardy! Headline goal again for Jamie Vardy! Mahrez round the back, it's a lovely take from Riyad Mahrez, who's teasing out Piliqueta and scoring gloriously! That is a gem!
Loic Remy came off the bench to pull one back, but the game was up.
The miracle and the mess!
That result finally sealed Mourinho's fate. 7 months after leading Chelsea to the Premier League title, he left the club for a second time. Manchester United lost again, this time 2-1 at home to Norwich. No wins in 4 now for United as the fans began to turn on Louis van Gaal. Fellow Dutchman Guus Hiddink was chosen to steady the ship at Chelsea. He was in the stands to see them get back to winning ways against Sunderland. Leicester were assured of top spot at Christmas, but 2 of the chasing pack, Arsenal and Manchester City, met at the Emirates Stadium on the 21st of December.
Ozil. Theo Walcott, beauty! It's Mesut Ozil, it is Olivier Giroud, it's 2-0 Arsenal!
2-1 the final score after Yaya Touré's stunning consolation. Arsenal now just 2 points behind Leicester at the top of the table. On Boxing Day, Stoke condemned Manchester United to a 3rd consecutive defeat. Leicester's 10-match unbeaten run came to an end at the hands of Liverpool, just the Foxes' 2nd loss of the season. But Arsenal failed to capitalise on Leicester's dropped points when they inexplicably were hammered 4-0 at Southampton later that evening. The Gunners would end 2015 level on points at the top of the Premier League with Leicester, whose next game was a goalless draw at home to Manchester City. Claudio Ranieri's men growing in belief, that league position unthinkable at the start of the season. It had been some year.
Vardy waving to fans.
So it was only goal difference that gave Arsenal their edge over Leicester. Manchester City and Tottenham very much in the hunt too, but Manchester United were now 5 points adrift of 4th. 10 points in December saw Bournemouth move 3 points clear of the relegation zone and level with Chelsea. Newcastle, Sunderland and Villa needed a dramatic change of fortunes in 2016.